Hey guys, Potato here, showing you how to mod vehicles post Sky Fortress patch. Uh, part 1 and part 2 will be in the description. Vehicles haven't changed much despite the patch. However, you do have to use a hexadecimal editor. So I use HXD, it works perfectly fine. Let's see. Binary to hex converter.com. Incredibly useful. Any value you type in here, say 120, gives you the hexadecimal value, so 78. Quick Google of HXD and you can find it just here. I'll put the link in the description as well. I'm going to leave this one here. So if we open up the archives, I cannot remember off the top of my head which one has a majority of the vehicles in it. If I remember, I'll put an annotation up. I've just got them all unpacked. There's a mod you can get for that, which unpacks everything. What you need to do is find editor, keep going inside, vehicles. So I'm going to be modifying land vehicles. I think the Nash one, which is the mine truck here, will be pretty entertaining. So copy this out. Just going to chuck this in here. Debug and the string lookups you do not need, so just this. So drag this onto small unpack. I've just got it set up, so if I double click it, this is where that length thing I told you comes into play. So if I change this to land and this to vehicles real quick, that's wrong, but whatever. And I drag this into here and into there, and now I try unpacking it. Oh yeah, of course, now that I try and prove that it screws up occasionally, it doesn't screw up. Anyway, just make sure your path is less than like 255 characters, and that's including once you've unpacked it. See, this is like pretty massive, so that's going to be less than 250. 255. So you want to go into the file, editor, entities, just cause vehicles, land, mine truck, modules, and then default. And this is where everything is. You can change the AI one as well. So if the, say you want the pedestrians, whenever they're in a car, pedestrians, you want civilians in cars to say go stupidly fast. You can change that here. You can make them stare off cliffs, all sorts of things. The most useful things out of all of these would definitely be MISC, transmission, steering, engine, and custom land global. So this is where you need to use the hexadecimal editor. You drag them in and open up the XML. Find out where you can touch. Last time I tried modifying a vehicle, it didn't work if I used the way I showed you using weapons, which is edit the XML file in here, drag the XML file onto convert ADF. Once you load it into the game, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't like it. So, but once I used the hexadecimal editor, it did work. Neem might have updated it since then, because that was 2 updates ago, as of today, being 7th of March 2016. So really useful things here: gravity when it's grounded, so when it's touching the ground; gravity when it's going up; gravity when it's going down; front wheel damage, how much health they have; drift, all the drift settings are in here. The ones you might be more interested in is this nitro right here. So if I search for 0.2, which I know there is none other of, it'll bring it up to here. So if I try to search it again, god damn it, find again. See, once it cuts down a shit ton like that, that means you're not looking at the right one. I guarantee it. How to figure out which 0.2 you're on? There's this first one here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 below it, which will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which will be this one right here. So if I just find it here, first one, second one. So the second one's this one. We want to find 10, just to make sure we're definitely on the right one. There, so torque multiplier 10. So I want my torque multiplier to be 50, 5 times stronger than usual. Grip multiplier, I want extra grip, 2.5. Push force, I wouldn't recommend touching push force because that's a set amount it will push you forward. So, I don't know, some people might find it useful. I have never found a use for it. It was throw you forward, so it can be a pain in the ass sometimes. It's really useful. I don't use it. Extra top speed, that's very important. How much extra top speed do you want? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maximum amount for me. I want there to be no limit on how fast I can go with this. Save it. Close just the file, not the whole thing. Exit XML, and then it'll create a backup file. If you are repeatedly trying out to find out if a mod is working or not, I would recommend saving the backup file, because this is the original one. This is a tutorial, I don't need it, I'm just going to delete it. Engine, another really useful file. Just down here, max RPM, minimum RPM, optimal RPM. Unless you know what you're doing, I wouldn't play with those. I tried it, it fucked up big time, so I know a little bit better now, but the one you can screw around with is torque factor at minimum, maximum, and optimal RPM. So at the optimal RPM, it'll provide 50,000 torque. So I want that to be much higher, but not too much. So I'm gonna go 150,000. Save. Close it. Close it. Steering. Maximum kilometers per hour, 100. We're not having our max speed being 100 now, are we? Just gonna fly through this and we're almost running out of time on Bandicam. Don't touch any of these unless you know what you're doing. Again, you can, I mean, there's nothing stopping you. It's just, it might not work the way you think it does until you try it out. So, go nuts, but don't expect it to go perfectly the first time. Top speed, 100 again. We don't want 100, we want maximum. So target cruise RPM. Your vehicle will automatically decay, well most of them, will engine if you just push forward and then let go. It'll decay to the set RPM. So if you change that higher, then it'll coast at a higher RPM, which should give you more torque. And then misc right here, useful one. More useful stuff down here. Open door duration. I like setting this down 0.1, so when you get into a vehicle, it doesn't take half a freaking hour. Top speed. Again, there's a lot of top speed checks. Change that to a really massive number. Nitro use time. Increase that from 8 seconds to whatever the hell that is. 9 billion probably. And that's it. Now, once you've done this, rename, remove the unpack, drag on the pack, it'll make a AAF. Just double checking because you had to do that last time. Once you've done that, go out and whatever its path was in here. So in this case, editor, entities. I'll just go to it and I can show you what it is. Just here. You need to copy this whole path up to editor in the drop zone folder. So I've done that partially, done just cause vehicles, land, and then the mine truck.